Hi everyone, this is Dan Julian, nurse practitioner for Dan Aesthetics Medical. Welcome. Today I'm going to be giving you an updated version on how I treat the jawline. The previous techniques that I was using was working relatively well, however I wasn't quite getting that chiseled look that I was hoping for, and I felt like I was wasting a lot of product. So I did some research, tried some new techniques, and I love it. I'm going to share that with you. It's going to be short and sweet. Enjoy. So before we begin, I have to introduce you to my lovely assistant, Sarah. Say hello, Sarah. And this is how I used to treat the jawline. I would take a cannula, bead here, bead across this way, and then I would go down to the gonial angle, provide a shotgun, bolus, and there we go. The concern was not everyone came in with the jawline already like Sarah. Most people come in not having a jawline and wanting that recreation. So a bead here really isn't going to do too much. A bead here, sure, maybe. But basically the problem with that shotgun bolus technique is that you have to go through skin, SMAS, subcutaneous tissue, 2 layers of the masseter, and guess what? Doesn't matter how hard you push, what type of product you have, usually it flattens out and you're not getting that lift that you're hoping for. So I've changed my approach and this is how I do it. So there's typically 3 different candidates that come in trying to recreate a jawline. One, this young guy who comes in and he's lost some weight maybe, doesn't have a jawline and wants to recreate it and wants something pretty strong and masculine. Then the second one is someone who's coming in, another young woman who's fit, feminine, wants to recreate or define that jawline, but doesn't want anything too masculine. And then third, you have someone who's a little bit more mature, starting to have some jowling and wants to mask the jowls. This treatment that I'm going to show you will fix all 3. Okay, so this is my approach. Typically this orange line here and here is usually where I would fill using kind of like a thread cannula technique, and this is my bolus, right? What I want to do instead is I actually want to go beyond that line. I want to fill the space under it. So what we're going to do here is recreate this bone, and the same thing back here. The amount of product you're going to use is dependent on the patient you have. If you're going to mask a jowl or if you're going to want a more masculine look, you're probably going to need maybe 2 syringes total for here. But if you're trying to just recreate a jaw for that feminine look, I think 1 to 1.5 syringes per side is all you'd really need. Here are my 2 insertion points. Basically what I want is to ensure that my cannula can reach my maximum point. Same thing over here. It reaches both, so I can go ahead. The other thing too is my facial artery. I want to make sure that I stay 1 centimeter behind it, have the patient clench on their masseter, touch the notch here. I know I'm going to be safe. I want to stay away from that. But yeah, so basically whenever I'm recreating this space, I'm placing aliquots here in each section, fanning the product along this line, and I'm going beyond the border. Same thing over here. I go and I put product behind it, fanning all across, and then when I'm done I can mold it. For a more masculine look, if I want to project here, what I'm going to do is I actually take out my cannula and I fan product here. I'm going to do the same thing on this side. I may need another syringe total in order to fan product throughout this whole region. But that's the trick in order to recreate a better jawline and how to mask the jowl. Now, I want to be clear that for all 3 cases, we actually place product also in the front of the jaw, around the chin area, to tie it off nicely. For the young man, I place more product into the chin to widen it, giving a more masculine look. For the young woman, what I did is actually place a little bit more product into the chin to narrow it, making it look a little bit more feminine and at the same time providing a little bit more assertion. And for the more mature client, what I did is I attached the jowl to the chin by placing product in front, and then I also softened up the marionette zone. But with her, remember, in order to fix that jowl, the only way we can do that is by dropping the jawline. We have to bring it below. By placing a bead of filler here is not going to do much to try and fix that jowl. Remember that. One technique works for all 3. Enjoy. So I'm about to reach 10,000 followers. I just want to let you guys know that I really appreciate that. I mean, honestly, the positive feedback has been overwhelming. I'm really enjoying making these videos. I learn a lot whenever I make these videos as well. They're here for you and your benefit. Please subscribe, comment, like. If you haven't hit the bell, therefore you'll be notified whenever all these new videos come out. Until next time, take care of yourselves, exercise daily, and please be nice to absolutely everyone. Take care, guys.